Hello all, my name is Krishnayak and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, today in this video, we are actually going to see how we can perform backpropagation using PyTorch. Now here I'm just going to take a simple example guys, and if you have a basic knowledge about deep learning, the most important thing in deep learning whenever you are creating an ANN or CNN or RNN, there is always a lot of front propagation, that is forward propagation, and backward propagation. In the backward propagation, we usually find out the derivatives or slopes. So let me just tell you what exactly we are actually going to discuss today. So in this backpropagation, we need to compute the derivatives, right? So we need to compute the derivatives, and PyTorch has a wonderful way actually to compute derivatives. They have some inbuilt functions. So suppose if I give you some examples of derivatives, suppose guys my equation is like x to the power of 2. Okay, suppose this is my equation, and if I try to find out the derivative of y, that is dy by dx, that is derivative of y with respect to x, this particular value will be actually 2 multiplied by x. This basically says that I can also write, if we have something like this, and probably everybody, if you are a mathematics students guys, you should be knowing that if x to the power of n is there, okay, if it is given by this particular equation, if y is basically given by this particular equation, and if we perform the derivative of this, right, then it usually becomes n multiplied by x to the power of n minus 1, right, which is something like this. So similarly over here you can see, when I have y is equal to x to the power of 2, then derivative of y with respect to x will nothing be, that will be 2 multiplied by x to the power of 2 minus 1, that is nothing but 1, right? So this derivative is pretty much important, because in deep learning, if you go and see my complete deep learning playlist guys, the link is given in the description. There I've actually explained you about forward propagation, backward propagation, chain rule, and many more things. And we know that from the input to the hidden layers, first of all, we multiply all the inputs with the weights plus bias. And then in the back propagation, we try to find out the derivative of this, right? Considering the chain rule. So in this video, we are going to discuss both the chain rule part also and a simple derivative by just using this kind of equations, so that we will try to understand how PyTorch actually solves it. So let's go ahead. So over here, first of all, I'm going to import Torch, which is the PyTorch library itself, and probably in my tutorial 2 and tutorial 1 I have already shown you that how you can install the Torch library. Now suppose this is basically my equation, y is equal to x square, okay, initially, and if you know in ANN we usually have an equation like y is equal to wx plus b, but here I've just taken this particular equation. How to actually do the back propagation in this, I'll be showing you with the help of Torch. So let's go ahead. So first of all, I'm just going to define x. So x over here will be nothing but a tensor, okay? And remember guys, this is pretty much important. It needs to be defined as a tensor, and there is also one more parameter. Suppose if I define this value as 4.2, and if I press shift tab over here, there is one parameter which is called as required underscore grad. Okay, this basically says that the gradient should be initialized. When we are keeping this particular parameter as true, then only we will be able to do the back propagation, and we will be able to basically keep a reminder on that x variable, that how the values are actually changing. So here I'm actually going to take this as true. Okay, so if I go and see my x over here, so here you can see that it is a tensor of 4. Now I'm going to just use this particular equation, that is y is equal to x to the power of 2, right? So if I execute this and if I try to print y, it is nothing but it is showing me as a tensor of 16. Now this is pretty much important guys. What I've done over here, I have initialized x with 4. So 4 to the power of 2 will be nothing but it will be actually 16. Now let us go ahead and try to see how we can actually perform the back propagation. And remember guys, if I try to perform the back propagation, the equation will actually be back propagation. If I try to perform propagation, the equation will become y is equal to 2 multiplied by x, right? So this is what it will become. So if I want to perform the back propagation with the help of Torch, we just need to write something like this. So I'll use this y, and I'll be using dot, and if I go and see, if I just press tab, you will be seeing that there is something called as backward. Okay, So this backward, if I try to see the definition, guys, if I press shift tab, it says that it computes the gradient of the current tensor. Gradient basically means the back propagation part, the derivative part, it actually tries to compute. Now, if I try to execute this, so you will be seeing that it has got executed perfectly. Now, if I want to see after the back propagation, what will happen? The equation will come y is equal to 2 multiplied by x. I know what is x over here. X is nothing but 4. So y will be equal to 8. So if I really want to find out what is the output, I can basically write print my x dot grad. Now, if I go and see this, you will be able to see that my value is actually coming as 8. This basically indicates that after I did the back propagation, the derivative that I'm actually getting, after I applied the derivative into this particular equation, I'm getting the value as 8. This is a pretty simple way how the back propagation is actually done by using this particular example. Now, why this is important, guys? Because when we will be developing the ANN, that is artificial neural network, from scratch, we will be using this particular function and this particular variable a lot. Okay, we will basically be using a lot. Now let's go ahead and try to create more complex tensors, because in our neural network, when we are considering our ANN, right, we will be having many hidden nodes, we'll be having various inputs, right, and within that there will be a lot of matrices. So all the time our x will just not be a single value, instead it may be a matrix of values. So what I'll do is that I will just create one variable again, x is equal to, or let me just create that this is my torch underscore input. Okay, and here I'm actually going to take torch.tensor, and instead of just taking a single value, now let me just define a list. First of all, I'll define a list which is actually a multi-nested list. Suppose this is basically my list. I'll define my list, and in this particular list I will write some elements like 2 3 1, 2 3 1, okay, comma, suppose I will try to write 4 5 3, okay, and this is basically a multi-nested list. And if I try to convert this into array, then it will become a two-dimensional array itself, right? Suppose if I say 7 6 4, right? So these are all my elements over here, and what I'm doing is that I'm actually using this list over here, and again I will try to use the same parameter which I used over here as required grad is equal to true, because this will be pretty much required, guys, over here too, right? Once I execute it, guys, okay, it is saying only tensors of floating point numbers data time can require gradients. So this is pretty much important, guys. Previously I have actually defined a floating point number. Okay, so you also have to define a floating point number. So I will just write 2 dot 3 dot 1 dot 4 dot 5 dot 3 dot and again 7 6 4. Now once I execute this, once I execute this, now if I just go and see my torch input, so you will be able to see this kind of values. Now suppose if I try to apply this same equation over here, let me just say, because always understand, guys, first my inputs will be taken, it will be multiplied by the weights, then a bias will be added, on top of that a sigmoid function will be added, and based on the chain rule I also have to do the back propagation with respect to all of this particular operation. So my first operation basically says that I have to use a torch, I have to basically give this input, and suppose I am using an operation of square plus 1. Suppose I'm just using this, or okay, if I use plus 1 also, by the derivative that will become 0. Okay, so it is fine. So let me do one thing, let me take to the power of 2, and let me take again torch input to the power of 2. So this is nothing but it is simple. This equation can also be represented as y is equal to x to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 2, which can also be represented like this, right? X to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 2. Now once I execute this, right, I know what will be my y value. See, in each and every variable, first of all, what we have done, initially we had this kind of variable, right? Yes, now it is being 12. How I have actually got this? Just imagine if I do 2 to the power of 3, what will happen? 8, right? And then 2 to the power of 2, right? It will be 4. So 8 plus 4 will be nothing but 12. Similarly, if I take this 3 variable, and now I am going to perform this particular operation. So 3 to the power of 3 is nothing but 9, right? Plus 3 to the power of 2, sorry, 3 to the power of 3 is nothing but 27, and then plus 3 to the power of 2, which is 9. So over here, 27 plus 9 is nothing but 36. Like this, all the operations have actually happened in this particular stage, right? Now, what I can do is that I can also apply some inbuilt function on top of y, because see, as I said, I've taken the inputs, I've multiplied by the weights, I've added a bias. On top of that, I can do any kind of operation. So here also what I'm doing is that I'll do something like y dot sum. Okay. So if I do y dot sum and if I see z, what I'm doing, I'm actually adding all these particular variables now. Okay. So after I add it, I'm actually getting 1040. Now this is pretty much important. Okay. Whatever we are getting this, right, gradient function, it basically says that yes, we can find out the derivative when we do the backpropagation. Now in order to do the backpropagation, guys, we just have to do something like this. Okay. Okay guys, now I have got the output of this z as a tensor, which is nothing but y dot sum. We have basically added all these values and we can see 1040. Now let me do the backpropagation. So if in order to do the backpropagation, I'll just write z dot backward and I'll execute it. Once I execute it, guys, remember what will happen after the backpropagation. Suppose this is my equation, right? It will get converted like 3x to the power of 2 plus 2x, because this is getting, we have tried to find out the derivative of y with respect to x. What is this x? X is nothing but this torch underscore input that we have initialized from here, right? So if I really want to find out the gradient with respect to the tensor underscore input, that is, sorry, torch underscore input. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to copy this over here. I'm going to execute this and I'm going to basically just type dot grad. Now remember one important thing, okay? When I did x to the power of 3 plus x to the power of 2, I got 3x to the power of square plus 2x. Now suppose if I try to replace this x value, suppose over here this 2 is getting replaced. So what will happen to the power 2 to the power of 2 is nothing but 4, right? So just imagine this particular number, guys. Over here the chain rule of differentiation is also happening, okay? So just see this, okay? I'm just going to show you over here. So suppose if I try to take this first element after the first derivative, so this will actually become, or just let me write it over here, okay? This will actually become 3 multiplied by x to the power of, or x is nothing but 2 since I'm taking the first element, okay? So 3 multiplied by 2 to the power of 2, right? This is what it is happening, right? And then this is after the derivative, like what this derivative we got, I'm just trying to compute based on that. Then this will be 2 multiplied by 2, right? 2 multiplied by 2, because this is 2x. Now once I execute this, you'll be able to see that I'm getting 16. Now with respect to this particular term, once I do one backpropagation, I will be getting 16, right? I hope you are following it. Let me just consider for my second example, 3, right? So it will be 3 multiplied by x. X is nothing but 3, right? 2 to the power of 2. That is 3 to the power of 2, okay? Because we are actually doing this after one derivative. Plus 2 multiplied by 2. Instead of 2, I will write it as 3. If I execute it, guys, I am getting it as 33. Sorry. So after one derivative, what we are just doing, we are finding out the derivative, and that particular backpropagation, this is just like chain rule of differentiation. It will happen with respect to each and every number, guys, each and every numbers. This is pretty much important to understand, and this is how a backpropagation will actually happen, right? I hope your understanding is, guys, see this is pretty much, again I'm going to repeat it. Initially my equation was like this, right? After one backpropagation, I'm just going to compute the derivative. So it will be 3x to the power of 2 plus 2x. This is pretty much simple. Now, if I really want to find out what will be the grad value, what will be this gradient value, right? How I will be doing, I'll just take this number, I will insert it over here. Okay, and with respect to each and every number, I will be getting the value. So for 2, when I try to equate it over here in this particular equation, right? 3 multiplied by 2 to the power of 2 plus 2 multiplied by 2, I was getting somewhere around 16. In my second case, I actually replaced it with 3, right? So it became 3 multiplied by 3 to the power of 2 plus 2 multiplied by 3. Then I got 33, right? So similarly, all the elements will be getting computed. Now, this is how it is basically happening in the neural networks, which has many number of inputs, many number of weights. By using this backward, right? And always remember, we'll be using these functions a lot. Requires underscore grad is equal to true. When we'll be using this function, that basically indicates that yes, we have to do the back propagation with respect to this particular torch input, and whether it may be any number of dimension of elements, always remember the chain rule of differentiation will happen with respect to each and every number that is present over there. Now this was an example to show you guys how the back propagation using PyTorch is actually happening. We can set it for any number of epochs, right? Any number of epochs. So please just try it, because in the next video I'm going to start artificial neural network with PyTorch. Please, I would like to suggest you all guys, go and check out my complete deep learning playlist to understand the theoretical part. In this videos, I'll be discussing more about how you can implement ANN, CNN and RNN with the help of PyTorch. So yes guys, this was all about this particular video. I hope you like it. Please do subscribe the channel if you have not already subscribed. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day ahead. Thank you one and all. Bye bye.